7.
Okay.
You want to do 5 to 7, okay. And what's the title?
What does success mean to you?
What does success mean to you?
Yeah.
Okay, let's welcome up Brandon.
Thank you.
That's it.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can go?
Yes.
Yeah, right. Thank you, Toastmaster, fellow Crosstalkers, esteemed guests, if they have come. My name's Brandon, and today I'm going to break the ice, right? So I'm going to share with you guys a topic, and I want to ask you a question. What does success mean to you? What does success mean to you? So, what does success mean to me? That's a question I ask myself often. And to myself, success means greatness. And more specifically, it means identifying and going after your greatness. Along the way of going for your greatness, though, it also means being true to your heart and remembering where you came from all the way back to the start, right? So this morning I was perusing my most trusted news source, yahoo.com. And I came across a quote from somebody that I consider great, Tom Brady. And he was sharing a mantra that he's got going in this next phase of his life. And he said, "The life you lead is the lesson you teach." Now in my life, I've been on a roller coaster, right? All over the place. And another tie into that I'll share with you that's a little personal to myself is my personal hotspot on my iPhone is Bruce Wayne. And I don't even know that I've always known why it's Bruce Wayne, right? But when I think about it, there's a lot of elements to it, right? So Bruce Wayne is both, first he's the playboy, philanthropist, right? So there's that side of him where he's out just having a little fun, kind of gallivanting and stuff. And that's fun and games, right? But when he brings it together, he's also Batman. And Batman is just there with his knowledge, his tools, and his help. He's got a team of assistants. He's got Alfred, and he's got that guy Lucius that makes his gadgets and stuff. And another thing about Batman is he kind of exhibits a couple qualities that I like, a couple qualities that I believe are on the path to greatness, and that's resilience and grit, right? And what I mean by that is Batman, when he's out in the streets, he's one of the heroes that's getting hit with punches, right? He's taking heat, and he kind of is the clock that keeps on ticking, right? Now, on my path to greatness, another thing that's been important is this idea of perspective, right? So if you see these images that I left on the table, quite often, many mornings, I go out for hikes, right? And these pictures are actually from this morning. And the one image is, looking out over the Capitol here in the Great Salt Lake area. And I go on these hikes to get a different perspective. And something that I've noticed is every hill I climb, there's always another hill higher. And that's kind of a nice thing for me to look at and recognize hey, you're doing a good job, you're moving up, but there's always another goal out there. There's always something further. And also, when I look back down, I look and see, you came from there. You're gonna go back in there, you know what I mean? So it kind of keeps me rooted. Another thing that I find on these hikes with perspective is following patterns in nature. Another one of these images you'll see, which is different in a couple images, and this is something I saw literally just this morning. And two parts about it. One part about the perspective is you don't see the world for what it is, you see the world for who you are. And when I saw this tree, it's splitting through a rock and still growing. And that's a zoom picture of the tree. And sometimes when you're going through life, you gotta pull the lens back and zoom out even on your own life and recognize you might not be where you want to be, but having that resilience and having that grit and determination, you can go anywhere you want, anywhere you set your mind to. Now, I want to be great, right? And when I see greatness, I see it in people like Serena Williams, or I see it in Tom Brady, or I see it in Steve Jobs. I see it in Mary Jackson, the first black NASA engineer, right? I see greatness everywhere. And, you know, Michael Phelps' greatness, and I don't see myself as any different than any of those people. What I see is somebody that is still at the mustard seed part of his journey, just not bloomed into that full oak tree, right? And another quote that I got also from Tom Brady is this thought of, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? If I am not for others, what am I? Now, this Toastmasters and all of this is part of my journey to greatness, right? And what I mean by that is it's my rootedness in knowing that I could be nowhere, but instead I'm now here. And I'm now here to feed myself and to feed my talents and feed my skills and feed my future me, right? And that's in line with, if not for myself, who will be for me? And you gotta be, if you wanna be great, you gotta be great for yourself and to yourself first, right? And then the other part, if I'm not for others, what am I? Thank you. And that goes back to a couple things, the perspective and also like this oak tree. Because the oak tree, when it's just a seed, it's in the mud. Then it grows up to be a little sapling. Then it grows out to be a full tree. When it's a full tree, it's providing shade and cover for others. It's providing big, thick branches for kids and adults to climb on and have fun and have memories around, right? And much like your own journey to success, whatever your success is for you, you might think of yourself like that oak tree, ever growing, ever out there to be for others. And I'm gonna tie in just a couple more quotes because something that's fun for me is cinema, right? I love movies and stuff. And I'm getting close on time, so I'm gonna be quick. But here's a few more quotes that come from the Batman, right? The Joker says, "What doesn't kill you makes you stranger." I've certainly learned that along the way. If you're good at something, don't do it for free. Well, that's part of this, learning how to, market your skills. And another one is, that's it. Thank you.
Square. You leave the light on until the next one's ready to be turned on.
Okay.
So green stays on until 6 minutes, then yellow goes on until 7 minutes, then red goes on.
Okay.
Red stays on until they're done with their speeches.
Right. Thank you. Yeah, appreciate you.
Okay, very good. Our next speaker is Charlene, and Jack is the evaluator. Jack, talk to us. Here it comes, here it comes, here it comes.
Charlene will be giving her speech called Believe It or Not, and that is 5 to 7 minutes.
Okay, and then before Charlene comes up, I'm going to be passing around next week's agenda plus the potluck sheet if you want to sign up. If not, just bring some. Howdy.